Hey George, great to see you again. Where did we last meet?
We met in Bewley at a motoring event.
That's right, it was a Southern Group of Motoring Writers event, and we had a bunch of classics, and you brought your car. What was that?
I did indeed, a Citroen CX Turbo I.
That's right.
Where we had a bit of fun, we went for a test drive.
That's right, I love driving that car, that was awesome.
Glad to hear.
So have you brought that car here today at the NEC Classic Motor Show?
Funnily enough, I have. I've driven it here.
Oh, right.
And yeah, the usual pleasure of driving a classic car.
Yeah.
The usual thumbs up at the petrol station.
Yeah, of course.
That kind of thing. And you know, I believe they need to be driven.
Yeah.
You know, I don't drive them in the winter months, but whenever I get a chance, I like to enjoy them.
Yeah, definitely. But you're standing very close to this blue car, I see. Is there a reason for that?
There is indeed. So I'm also the owner of this wonderful machine.
This is beautiful.
Thank you.
This is amazing. I mean, this is one of the icons. This is one of the legends. And when you say Citroen, I mean, a lot of people, they think about this car, right?
They do indeed, yeah. So it's been on my wish list for many years. And 10 years ago, that dream became a reality when all of a sudden the specification I wanted, right-hand drive, semi-automatic, fuel injected, came up. It was at auction. I didn't get a chance to go and view the vehicle myself, so I was very cautious when I was bidding. I bid up to 3.5 and someone else outbid me, so I missed out on it. And it was a one-owner car. That was another thing that appealed to me. It had been unmolested, very, very authentic, and I was gutted. I missed out on it. And it had been a non-runner. It had been sitting for about 30 odd years, and I thought, that's it, I'll never see her again.
Yeah.
And just by fate, a month later, just Googling, I found her. It was on a small independent trader.
Right.
He had it on his website.
So this was the same car?
Same car.
Right.
And I just was gobsmacked seeing it.
And that's this car?
That's this car.
Wow.
And I went to have a look at it. As soon as I saw it, that was it. I knew it was for me. And I bought it.
So how much did you pay for this then, if you don't mind me asking?
5.
I mean, to be honest, isn't that a bargain?
It needed a lot of work.
Right.
But yeah, to me, I thought it was a very good price.
Yeah.
What appealed to me was the exterior panels.
Yeah.
They weren't rusty. So what had happened was, when the gentleman that owned it had the car, it was on the road for 20 years, and I assume at that stage it was starting to show its age.
Right.
And at that time you could still get new panels from Citroen. So he had bought new panels, he had sprayed it a non-Citroen brown colour, which was of its time. But when I got it, luckily the exterior panels were great, and I could choose whatever colour I wanted.
Yeah.
And I've gone for this colour, which is it's a Citroen colour.
Yeah.
It's the correct colour for the year, which is 1971.
Right.
But it's actually a Citroen SM colour.
Oh, I see.
But I think it works really well.
It looks beautiful. I mean, how long has it taken to get it to this point?
It took a couple of years. I can't weld and I can't spray, but I'm good at taking things apart. I'm good at labeling.
Well, I was going to ask you, I mean, taking things apart, but one of the things that this car is very famous for, but also kind of notorious for, is its suspension.
Correct.
So how have you had to work on that?
Specialist. So what I'd recommend to anyone who's interested in any classic car really is to become a member of the club. So with the Citroen Car Club, I've been able to tap into the experts who have been in the club for many years, who have seen the pitfalls, who know how to do things correctly and what not to do. So I had great support from the D section, from Nigel Wilde especially, who's been able to sort of steer you into not making a mistake. You know, what are the right things to do, how to go about a restoration for the first time. So this was my first project managed restoration. And when I got the car, it was first, let's get it to a specialist, let's get it on the road, and let's see, you know, get it running, what is there needed to be done, and then sort of go from there. So
now the thing about that is that, like you said, the specialists that know how to deal with it. Now I remember reading that it is quite an art to get this right.
Correct.
But is this something that's dying out? Are we going to run out of these specialists, or is the knowledge being passed on?
The knowledge is being passed on, and we can see that by the enthusiasm that these cars still have. I've been here since yesterday, and it's so nice to see the younger generation interested in it, and we need to encourage that because they're the future. They're the future custodians that are going to look after this car. Being a hydromatic Citroen, I think it scares people, but the hydraulics are the most reliable part of the car. You know, and it's and the engine is tried and tested on the traction of van. It's a development of that engine, so it's a very simple design. So really, then they shouldn't be scary to anyone. And if you're interested in one, join the club. And you know, you only live once. You know, tick that box.
Yeah, exactly, you know? Exactly. So, final question: have you driven it on 3 wheels yet?
I have not. I've driven it to France. I've been on the test track in France that Citroen used to originally use, and this is the sort of car you can get in, do 300 miles, and get there in one piece, and feel refreshed as you come out of the car. You don't feel
even today.
Amazing. You know, it can keep up with modern traffic. And you've got to drive them and enjoy them, and that's what it's all about for me: is meeting people, having fun, and using the car.
That's the way to do it. Great to see you again, man.
Good to see you. Hope to see you soon. Before I forget, I've got to give a big shout out to my brother. So before lockdown, he went on a leather course, and like my father, he's very, very good with his hands. And all I had to do was supply the hides. I bought him a double stitch machine, and this is the result, and I'm really pleased. And being a perfectionist, he always finds faults in it, but the amount of positivity that I've had today with people saying how brilliant it is, you know, has had to be said. So thank you, Tony.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.